You know, when Jesus entered into the temple on what is known as Palm Sunday, today, if you're watching this live or anytime during the day on Palm Sunday, it was a big, big day. It was a big event. It was a transition. It was a promotion. It changed everything. It was the beginning of a week that changed everything. This is Passion Week. This leads up, culminates by this Friday being Good Friday, remembering the crucifixion, and then of course the Super Bowl of all church services is that Sunday morning at all of our churches. It's called Resurrection Sunday. Some call it Easter. But it began on Palm Sunday. And it was more than just him entering into the temple. First of all, he came through the eastern gate. And it was prophesied in the Old Testament that the Messiah would ride a donkey and a colt and a foal into the temple. He would enter the eastern gate. Now, he was known until that day as the son of the carpenter, Jesus of Nazareth. But something changed that day. Something shifted that day. And the Bible says as he's climbing the mountain, going up to the temple, I should say, he began to weep over the people of God, over the city. And he could have just walked right in that gate. He was very well known inside the temple. He had spent a lot of his life inside the temple. But that day it was different. He realized, okay, this is when I proclaim myself to be more than a carpenter. I've been doing that for three and a half years, but today something very, very significant changes. So he tells his disciples to go and find the donkey, very famous story, and it was tied up. This donkey was tied up, and so it almost looks like he's stealing the donkey, because in the eyes of the world, it certainly looked that way. And the Bible says that he's untying this donkey, he's loosing this donkey. And the disciples thought ahead. They said, well, if I do this, what am I supposed to say to these people when they ask me, what are you doing with my donkey? Just say, the Lord has need of him, and they will let you have it. So that's exactly what happened. But the significant thing about when that donkey made it back, so here they bring up this donkey and the colt, and something didn't just shift in the life of Jesus. There was an atmospheric shift, because people realized they began to play a part of it. Some of them knowingly, some of them unknowingly, just how big of a part they were playing. And what did they do? They began to take off the Bible says, in your version of the Bible probably, says clothes, and they began to lay their clothes or their garments on the donkey. Others laid it before the donkey on the path. Still others went over and, now this is not a palm tree by no means, but cut off palm branches. And the Bible says they began to wave those palm branches while the donkey was coming in. There's so much going on right there in this story. First of all, he rides a donkey into the eastern gate. He's going to come back through the eastern gate one day, but he won't be riding the donkey. The Bible tells us in the book of Revelation, he will come back on a white stallion and enter into that eastern gate again. That's another sermon for another day. But there's two places in that story where you're involved. Number one, you probably never been told this by anybody, but you're the donkey. You're a donkey. Hey, and thank God I didn't use King James language, okay? Some of y'all get that, some of you won't. Just say it. I'm a donkey. I'm a carrier of Jesus. Jesus is the gospel. Jesus is the word. So that donkey was a carrier of the word. So today, on Palm Sunday, or whenever you're watching this, you'll never look at Palm Sunday again because of two reasons. Number one, you're the donkey, okay? We're the ones that takes him in, that carries him in to the marketplace, to the city, to the temple. Second of all, palm branches. It's called Palm Sunday. Palm branches. Why is that significant? Well, let me show you something. This is just a branch of some kind of bush that's in my yard. But watch this. This is symbolic. Symbolic of what? This. What is this? What is the center of my hand called? Palm. This, called an arm, guess what else it's called? A limb. If you break your arm, many times we'll say we broke a limb. What's another word for limb? Branch. So if you take this limb and understand that it's a branch, and at the end of it, there is a palm. Every one of us have a built-in palm branch. So if you're watching this early on Sunday morning, get up and go to church on Palm Sunday and wave those palm branches. But throughout the day and every day of your life, understand you are two things. You're a donkey carrying the gospel. You are the ones that brings Jesus in, okay? How can they believe in what they have not heard? And how can they hear without a preacher? And how can they preach unless they be sent? The donkey has been sent, and you are the donkey. And by the way, also wave the palm branches. And they cried out, Hosanna, Hosanna, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Now when the people of Jerusalem saw this, and the people of the temple saw this, watch what happened. The Bible says they asked the question, who is this? Who is this man? Now, they already knew who he was. There's AJ. Come here, Cookie. Come here, Cookie. Come here, Cookie. Y'all want to be on camera? Yeah. Who is this? Who is this man? They knew who he was. But something shifted that day. The people said, this is the prophet of Nazareth. Y'all want to be on the show? Is that what you're doing? This is Jesus, the prophet of Nazareth. That's a big change from just the son of a carpenter. All right, I gotta go. My dogs are trying to take over the show. Happy Palm Sunday. Go be a donkey and wave those palm branches.